Hi friends, thanks for stopping by today. If you're on my YouTube channel, I sure hope that you will subscribe so that you'll be notified when I put up new posts. My goal is to put up a new video post every weekend, and same on my Facebook page. If you're over on my Facebook page, be sure to follow on that page, and that way anytime I put something new here, if it interests you, you'll be notified and you'll know that I'm online. I came across something in some notes I was looking over earlier that I taught some time ago to my Grace Walk Experience group that I teach every day online. You can go to stevemcvey.com to find out about that. But anyway, it was a piece of research, and I couldn't remember if I'd shared it with you publicly or not, but it's a great illustration from the scientific community about how, I'm going to say this, they didn't do it for this purpose, but I'm going to say it illustrates how many people in the modern church world have come to believe what they believe. How many of us have come to believe what we believe in the modern world of religion? The scientific study was done back in the 1960s, and it was performed with monkeys. And what happened was that they put 5 monkeys in a cage together, and they put a ladder in the middle of the cage. On top of the ladder was a bunch of bananas. Every time a monkey would go up the ladder to try to get the bananas, as soon as they would start up the ladder, the researchers would hose down the rest of the monkeys with cold water. Every time a monkey would start to go up, they'd hose down with cold water the other monkeys. Well, it didn't take long until every time a monkey tried to go up the ladder, the other monkeys would beat him up, so that after a while, no monkey dared to try to go up the ladder again. So they thought they would try something different. And so what they did is they substituted one of the monkeys. They took out one of them and they replaced it with a new monkey. Well, as you would imagine, the first thing he did was try to go up the ladder to get the bananas, but the remaining 4 that had been there jumped on him and beat him up, and it didn't take him long until he learned not to go up the ladder either. So then they took out another of the original monkeys, and they brought in a new monkey. And when they put that new monkey in, he, of course, began to go up the ladder as well. And then they all jumped on him and beat him up, listen to this, including the monkey that had been put in there before. Well, they continued replacing the monkeys, substituting, until they eventually had substituted all 5 of the monkeys. And so at the end, there were 5 monkeys in the cage, and none of them had ever been soaked with water. But anytime a new monkey would come into the cage and try to climb the ladder, the 5 would beat him up. And they had never even soaked with cold water. Well, what's the rationale, or what's the point of that experiment? Scientists used it, the researchers used it to show the power of indoctrination. Each of those monkeys, when they had been introduced to the group, had been indoctrinated into behaving the same way that all the others did. The new monkey didn't know why. He just beat up the monkey that tried to go up the ladder because that's what he had learned was the appropriate thing to do. Now, you see the application that I'm making here. There are a lot of people in the world of religion, a lot of folks inside the Christian church who do that exact same thing. They have fallen into the monkey see, monkey do position, and they have been taught to believe a certain way. They've been taught to behave a certain way. Sometimes they've been taught to speak, with certain dialect, even to look a certain way. And when somebody new comes in, all the remaining or the original or the older folks that are in there before them, they're quick to bring them into line. And eventually you've got a whole crowd of people who are all thinking the same thing, talking the same way, doing the same thing. And the truth is, it's only because they've been indoctrinated by the culture around them to be that way. And boy, oh boy, you let somebody come in that is a contrarian, you let a monkey come in the cage that tries to climb the ladder or tell the rest of the monkeys, look, it's okay for us to eat the bananas. You let somebody come in that is a contrarian, and if they challenge just about anything, there's a knee-jerk reaction from the others to fall into conformity. Well, I want to encourage you about something today. Don't fall into conformity. Don't fall into uniformity with everybody around you just because that's what everybody else does. Listen to the next statement I'm going to make. You have been justified. So, and by the one that matters most, and the only one really that matters ultimately. So because you have been justified, you don't have to justify yourself to anybody else. So be willing to ask the hard questions. Be willing to scrutinize what you're told. Be willing to ask the question that every little 3 and 4-year-old understands it's good to ask, but we grow out of it. Be willing to ask the question, why? Why do we believe this? Why do we do this? Why is this the way it is? And don't allow yourself to be squelched by any authority or by peer pressure. The truth is that none of us have a perfectly clear understanding of anything. We're all on a journey, so let's don't beat up those who are willing to climb the ladder just because that we've learned that's not the way to do it. And may I last but not least remind you that my illustration breaks down certainly at one significant point. We aren't monkeys. We aren't monkeys. We bear the image of our Creator, so let us refuse to become indoctrinated into a static system and instead spend our lives exploring the dynamic reality of discovering more and more of what it means to live inside the divine life that embraces us all, because that, my friend, is the Grace Rock experience. I'll see you next time.